a future lawyer's petty revenge on a tenant. In the late 70s, my parents bought a house they couldn't afford, relying on a basement tenant to cover the mortgage. 3 months in, the guy hadn't paid a dime. He used the place as a weekend party house, while my parents faced foreclosure letters and mounting debt. When I confronted him, he laughed in my face and told me to tell my parents to get better jobs. My dad tried to navigate the eviction process, but the legal jargon was overwhelming. Seeing my mom in tears, I took over. I spent days at the courthouse law library, where the staff helped me draft the paperwork. When I served the tenant, he just smirked and said, "Tell it to the judge." At the hearing, the tenant showed up with that same arrogant smirk. Fortunately, the judge was unimpressed by his attitude and ordered an immediate eviction. I thought we had won, but a paralegal pulled me aside and warned me, a judgment is just a piece of paper. He explained that hiring the sheriff to physically remove him could take months and cost hundreds in fees we didn't have. The only loophole? Abandonment. I knew the guy was never there during the week. I waited until Friday, then called the police to report that the unit appeared abandoned to create a formal record. Then, I changed the locks and moved every single one of his belongings into a local storage unit. On Saturday morning, the tenant arrived and started pounding on the door, screaming that his key didn't work. I calmly told him we had found the unit abandoned and moved his things for safekeeping. He threatened to call the police, but I simply handed him a release form. In his rage, he signed it without reading it just to get the address of his stuff. An hour later, he called back, livid because the storage facility was demanding $300 in fees to release his property. I told him, if you don't pay that fee, they'll say you abandoned your stuff too. And you don't want to abandon anything, trust me. I hung up the phone, and my parents finally had their first peaceful weekend in months.